Hello, everyone. This is Lynn, Dream Girl Writer, coming to you with a message about living a kinder and gentler life. And I know for those of you who have watched my videos before or read anything of my works, you will know that I am very interested in doing this for myself and cultivating it with the people around me and in my community. And I would like to offer you three very practical tips today to do this. And also, I will include with this email and this video a PDF for you to have a written record of how these tips work and some more tips that you can use to just slow yourself down and get to savor your life a little bit more, to be able to enjoy and nourish the grace of living, which is something that our society seems to have gotten way far away from since the time of my youth. And we all like to feel like our societies, our time, or our generations were the ones that did it right. And then the following generation is, less aware than we were. And to a certain extent, with some things, that is true. But what I'm trying to revive here is and assure you that it has nothing to do with generational or societal trends. It is just a basic concept that to live simply is to live well. To have a kind and gentle life means that you are engaging in kind and gentle acts in your life. To be able to consider that this is possible means that your heart is open and that you are willing and able to make the world a better place just by your presence and your practices. So, number one for you, I would, and those of you who have again seen me talk before, commune with nature. You knew that was coming, right? If only to look outside and take pauses during your day if the weather is forbidding and or you are unable to actually get outside, to just look out a window, to if a window is not available, to just sit, close your eyes, and imagine a peaceful place that you knew in nature in your life or that you go to in current time, and just conjure it up for yourself as a vision inside and just sit quietly in a pause with communion for all that Mother Nature gives us. There is so much available to us every day, all around the earth, in every place on earth, to remind us of the connection we share with nature. And when we take pauses to take walks, to sit on benches, to take a journal with us and write down inspirations, whether they're full poems or just little affirmations of what you're seeing and hearing and feeling when you're out in nature, has a tremendous effect on your well-being. And it's nice to do this with others, but I also recommend that you keep time just for yourself to do these communions with nature, and especially a time where you can just let your mind go and daydream, if you will, without, having to recognize what the trees are or having to know, things about the animals that you're seeing, and let your mind take a rest and just give it a few moments off from analyzing everything and just breathe in and just hear and just sit with the energy that is coming from the earth at all times, that the communion that Mother Nature keeps available to us at all times is is really miraculous and magical. So if you can only give it 30 minutes a week, if you can only give it 5 minutes a day, if you can only give it a certain amount of time per month, just start this practice and you will be amazed at what it generates behind the scenes for you, how it energetically will also spill over with love and kindness into your relationships, how it will affect the number of opportunities that you become aware of to make your life better or to improve the quality of your life. Just from a few minutes of divining with our communal source in Mother Earth. The second thing I would like to talk to you about is disengaging from technology. I would never have been able to make these videos or have my online business without technology. And I am entirely grateful for these kinds of things that I can make these videos, I can send them out in emails, I can reach people that otherwise I would be unable to contact. Wonderful things that technology has done for us in the space program and in science and of course, in our communications and our air travel and on and on. But in recent years, I'm sure all of you are aware of how people have become trapped within technology and distracted to the extreme by it, to where they walk down the street scrolling on their cell phones instead of watching where they're going or taking in their surroundings. So we all know how that affects us. And if you're watching this video, you're probably aware of ways in which you need to cut back from technology. And so one little tip that I'll give you that may have a practical, immediate practical application for you is if you're doing any social media, to just consider that the amount of time you spend on that. And instead of doing that, to transfer some of that time to just going outside and engaging socially with either your neighbors or at an event, and trade off as much time as you can and keep trading it off until your social media contacts or whatever other technology, maybe it's watching TV that you spend too much time doing. So trade off the time that you spend engaged in technology that is questionable whether it actually serves you, and do it with contact with real people. The thing that I miss so much from my younger years, and it's not to say that the way I was raised was any better or worse than this, but we did talk to each other. We did see our neighbors almost every day. We did make it a point to socialize outside of our, immediate family or our work environment, because that was what society, that those were the connections in society that served us. They still serve us. We've just forgotten about them. It serves us to talk to our neighbors. It serves us to understand what they're going through and have it be an impetus for us to either reach out to help them or to look at something in our own lives that may be heading that way. I mean, the simplest people, even if they're not your favorite people, always have something to offer you in conversation if you're really open and you're listening to them. And, I have a curmudgeonly neighbor that I go to see on occasion. And yesterday when I went to see her, I got upset with, not upset, but I got indignant about something that she said. And I exchanged a few cross words with her. And I'm telling you, that bothered me the whole rest of the day. And the reason it did was because, and of course, we apologized to each other and it was okay. But the reason it bothered me was because I stopped listening to her. She was trying to express something to me and I'd heard it before and I was tired of hearing it. And so I, reacted in non-love. And then we kind of, had that conflicted engagement. And I so did that myself. I brought that conflict on myself. I could have just listened to her, let her express how she felt, and then, carried on with our conversation. So this is what we learn. I mean, we learn through the good, the bad, and the ugly, how to be better friends to people, how to be better neighbors, how to be a better person, how to be a better listener. And so you don't do that on social media. That exchange is very limited, and especially because people take the opportunity to say things that are a little bit untrue or maybe grossly untrue. And so it's like you're talking about, you could be exchanging duplicity and lies back and forth. It could be a whole waste of time having that conversation on social media. But when you get real and up close and personal with real people, then you can learn those lessons. They can be brought home to you in a kinder and gentler way, especially if you're willing to look in the mirror and say, okay, how could I have avoided that conflict? Or how could I have made that better? Or, you know, not contributed to it? And the third thing I want to remind you of is that there is an art to letter writing. And for a kinder and gentler life, I think to revive the art of letter writing is a very good start. And I say that because I'm a writer and I used to write all of my dreams and all of my journals longhand. And today I use a computer, again, grateful for the technology to be able to do that. But there is something about taking the pen in hand and moving your thoughts from your brain onto the paper and feeling them in between go through your heart. Because when you're using your hands, you have that connection to your heart. And if the thoughts are originating in your mind, then you're connecting all of them. And with letter writing, it also is a real treat for the people that receive your letters, as you well know. I do have a family member who sends me letters and always writes, gives me handwritten cards on occasions, and I so appreciate her. Joan, you know who you are. And I try to do it as much as possible. And I usually do it even when there's not really an occasion for it, but I just want to tell someone how much I love them, or maybe I had a dream about them and I wanted to just relay to them that I'm thinking of them. And whatever it is, or even just to say, hi, it's been a long time since I heard from you. Do you want to, have a chat on the phone, but put it in writing? And then maybe add an anecdote from your life that's happening at that time or that just happened to you, or, a sweet little story. Make it a little story letter. This is such a wonderful process. And again, it just pauses you. It slows you down. It gets you into a musing, contemplative, meditative state. And all of that does us all good. Whenever you get to a place of peace and your actions are coming from a state of grace, so to speak, you're doing the world a favor. So thank you for listening. And sorry, I kind of went on a lot, but I really do feel strongly that it is incumbent upon all of us to return to love in this world, to return to a kinder and gentler place, even when there's conflict all around us, even when people are maybe making fun of us or belittling what it is we do. keep going. Oh, and I forgot. I wanted to share. I made myself a cup of tea to pause for the cause. And I have these tea, this is the Yogi Tea company, and they give a little affirmation or a little saying with each tea bag. This one said, when fear is forcing you to give up, call upon your heart's courage to continue. Mm. And as all connections in life come up as a result of pausing, I offer you that last wisp of wisdom there as a reason to slow down, return to love and a kinder and gentler life. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.